Hello, everybody. My name is Tsou, and I am a second year dietetic student at Eastern Michigan University.
Hi, I'm Kathleen. Today we're going to talk a little bit about oats. Are you tired of getting a full container of oats and not knowing what to do with it besides make the same boring old oatmeal? Well, today we're going to teach you a little bit about other uses for oats. We're going to go through an oat milk recipe so you can make your own alternative milk at home and a way to protein pack your oats. I hope you enjoy. Today I'm going to show you how to make a simple, quick, and easy oat milk. Oat milk is a great alternative milk that you can actually make at home, and unlike almond milk, soy milk, coconut milk, this contains no nuts. So for our recipe, all we need is 1 cup of quick oats and then 4 cups of water. So we're going to start by measuring out 1 cup of oats. The oats that I have here, they're rolled oats. They're a little bit softer, so it makes it easier for blending and soaking to absorb the water. So we'll pour that in. And then I'm going to head right over here to my sink to grab 4 cups of water. One thing that's great about oat milk is that it contains a lot of vitamin A. Vitamin A is essential for maintaining healthy eye health. It also has some iron, some fiber, and then also less fat than your traditional dairy milk. So now that I have 4 cups of water in here with my 1 cup of oats, I'm going to let this bowl sit for at least 1 hour or overnight. Usually I don't use a bowl this size to soak my oats. I usually use a flat pan so then the oats can lay on a flat surface and get a nice even soak. If you're going to soak in a bowl like this, I would suggest soaking overnight so they can really absorb that water into the oats. I'm going to set this aside. And here are the oats that I have been soaking overnight. If you can see, the oats are pretty puffed up because they absorb the water, and then the water also has a little bit of a white milky color to it. Next in our oat milk, we're going to place it into a blender. I have a blender here. It's a pretty small one. Usually you can find a smaller blender for a cheap price. They're a great tool to have. You can make salsas, you can make oat milk, you can also make soups in them, and you can also make smoothies. Your oat milk is also something great to put into a smoothie to add some fiber, some flavor, and also give it that thinner consistency with everything else mixed in. So next I'm going to put my oats into the blender. I'm going to head over to the sink to do this again because it can get pretty messy when you're pouring oats into a small container if you have a small blender. My blender won't be able to blend all of these oats at once, so I'm going to have to do mine in batches, which is totally okay. If you're doing it in batches, you just want to make sure you have a good ratio of oats to the water liquid, so then your blender doesn't get all clogged up and it makes it a good, smooth consistency. Here I have my oats in water. The oats are kind of settled down at the bottom. The water's on top. I'll twist my top on and then we'll get blending. When blending, you want to make sure that you're looking for the small pieces spitting by and like making sure everything's getting smaller in there, so you're getting a really fine texture on the oats So here we go. Take that off, and I'm going to open it up, and I'm going to grab a spoon. So now I can kind of take my spoon and look through to see if there's any big chunks so that I know it's mixed well. Okay, doesn't look like I have any chunks. So I'm going to take the pan that I had my oats soaking in. To minimize dishes, it's a great way. I'm going to rinse it out and then use it for when I strain the oat milk. Now that I have my pan rinsed out, I'm going to go ahead and grab some cheesecloth. Cheesecloth is basically a cloth. It's pretty thin and it has holes. It is used for straining. So we're going to strain any oat particles out, and I'm going to lay that into my pan. I found this cheesecloth for pretty cheap. It was about $3. And then you can sometimes cut it up and get a few uses out of it. So we'll pour our oats, blended oats, into here. And then we're going to go ahead and just roll this up. Okay, and then this will help strain out any of the fine particles. And then just keep pressing. Until all of it comes through the cloth. And now in my pan, all I have left is a white, it's kind of thick mixture. Oat milk tends to be on the thicker side. You can add oat milk to your smoothies, your coffee, your cereal. It's a great alternative milk. Now that you have your milk, you're going to be able to store it into a glass jar in the fridge for a few days until you use it up in that time. It might start to separate, so you can either mix it up or determine if that's something that you would want to throw away at the time. You might also have some oats that are left over. Like I only used half of my oats, and then I have some of the soaking oats because I knew I didn't need that much oat milk from the oats. So you can save those oats and you can put them in, you could make oatmeal muffins. You could also use them for a face mask because although you don't have the whole oat, you still have the component, and it might be easier to spread to make an oatmeal face mask. One of the recipes that I do like is taking the oats and then mashing them into a brick. You'll put them into a brick pan and put it in the freezer. Once they're frozen, you'll take it out of the freezer, slice the brick up into pieces, coat it with oil and flour, and then you have a delicious fried oatmeal snack. It's a great way to get some fiber. One more note with the oat milk is that you can add vanilla to it to make a vanilla flavored oat milk, or you can also sweeten it with your sweetener of choice, or one of the great things to add to your oat milk is maple syrup to give it a sweeter taste. go ahead and pour this in here. And then voila, I have my oat milk. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in my fridge. Thank you for listening. I hope you're excited now to go ahead and make your own oat milk. It's just 2 simple ingredients, oats and water, and you can have a whole new versatile ingredient to put in your coffee or tea, cereal, your smoothies, or you can even just drink it. You can also experiment. You could maybe try flavors. You could also try different consistency of oats. Just be creative with it.
To start off, you want to go ahead and take your strawberries. I let mine thaw out for a little bit. And you want to go ahead and take a fork and just start smashing them a little bit. You know, mashing them a little bit and letting them, you know, make some juices out of it. You want to use this as a main mix for the oats and the milk as well as the yogurt. You want to get it nice and mashed up pretty well here. And you want to start off with 1 cup. So there's going to be a total of 2 cups, but the remainder is going to be added at the end here. Okay, so as we continue here, you'll notice this is what it should look like, a little puree type. You want to, depending on how your preference is, you can keep mashing it, or if this is how you like it, you're more than welcome to stop here. This ingredient that we're going to be working with here is Greek yogurt. So you want to start off by mixing it up, making sure it's nice and mixed up before you scoop it out. Sometimes it settles. Might be liquid on the top. And for this recipe, I'm going to go ahead and use vanilla Greek yogurt. You want to start off with a cup. Alright, and once you have your cup, you want to go ahead and set it in your mixing bowl. For the next ingredient, you want to go ahead and add some just regular milk. You can use whole milk, 2% milk, skim milk, any type of milk. If you're typically looking for a lower calorie option, of course the skim milk is the best option, or you can use alternatives such as almond milk, soy milk, etc. Just based on your dietary preference and any limitations you might have with lactose. For example, I use lactose free, I am lactose intolerant, and then you want to go ahead and just add the milk right into the mixing bowl. And then after the milk and Greek yogurt has been put in, you want to go ahead and just mix it lightly, making sure it's a little bit more consistent. Careful, it might make a mess. Alright, and once you go ahead and mix it, it'll be pretty consistent there. Alright, and then the next ingredient you want to go ahead and add is the rolled oats. So you want to go ahead and add a cup right into the mixture, and you want to take the mixture and start mixing it again. You want to just get it a little bit more mixed in, blended very well, and then you'll start to notice that the oats will start to take on the liquid, and you might start to see it form and firm up a little bit more. Okay. So once you got that all mixed up and well, the next ingredient you want to go ahead and add is the whey protein. You want to go ahead and add a scoop and a half of whey protein. Again, you can use any type of whey. You can preferably vanilla or unflavored would probably work best with this recipe. So once you get that all measured up, a scoop and a half, you want to go ahead and add it right into the mixture. Once it's added, you want to go ahead and go back and start mixing it again. And this time you'll start to notice it will definitely thicken up a lot more after you add the protein in here. So this is what it looks like. and you want to go ahead and keep mixing it for a little bit until it's a little bit more consistent. Protein's a great source. This is a great source of protein with the amount in the Greek yogurt, as well as the milk, and as well as the whey protein that we added. So if you have any issues with protein, you might want to be able to reduce it through either taking some of the Greek yogurt out, the milk, or even reducing the amount of whey protein added. Okay, so once it's all mixed up, you want to go ahead and take the strawberry puree mixture that you have here and dump it right into it. And then you want to go ahead and mix it one more time. Alright, and as you've noticed, the recipe now is starting to mix up, and it's going to start looking more pink, red, depending on how many strawberries you add and how much liquid is taken out. Okay, so once you have all of that prepared, you want to go ahead and start portioning out each of the servings here, and it's a great way to portion out. Go ahead and use these half-pint mason jars. These are great for storage. They're very easy to be portable, and you can take them anywhere. So it's very easy to just throw in your lunchbox, grab and go right for breakfast. And then once you have all of that, you want to take the remaining strawberries that you've left out, and you want to just go ahead and top them over it. So we'll go ahead and show you an example. Okay. So as you let it sit, it will continue to soak up the liquid. So depending on how thick you like it, you could go ahead and add more oats if you'd like, if that's your preference. Otherwise, just go ahead and scoop it into your portions. Again, these are about half pint, perfect serving size. And I also provided the nutrients provided from each of these servings. So once you have this all set, you want to go ahead and take your strawberries and just throw them right over top. And then, voila, you just got strawberry cake oats. Enjoy!
Thank you for listening. I hope you found a few other uses for those oats in your pantry.